Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Randall's Island, where tonight the New York City Department of Education and the Public Schools Athletic League presents the 2021 Boys A-Division Soccer Championship match, an all-Manhattan tournament featuring the number 2 seeded Blue Demons from Houston High School and the number 1 seeded Knights from Martin Luther King Junior High School. Let's salute the players as they march down to the field.
One more bank of lights in here. They did 2 and 2. It really needs to be 3 and 3. It's too dark. It's too dark. The corners. Look how dark the corners are.
First, for the Blue Demons of Beacon High School, number 3, Emmanuel Bullock. Number 14, Silas Bismarck. Number 9, Alda Alquani. Number 12, Javier Freakin. Number 13, Luca Hansen. Number 6, Parker Vilio. Number 20, Julian Naaman. Number 5, Adam Busey. Number 22, Marco Rubin. Number 1, Ellis Weiston. And number 21, Chandler Young. The Blue Demons are coached by Brian Handel. And now the starting lineup for the Martin Luther King Junior Knights. Number 27, Ricardo Cisse. Number 22, Michael Garcia Jr. Number 1, Lincoln Kenwood. Number 13, Phoebe Paramoto. Number 9, Carlos Reyes. Number 16, Charles Lopez. Number 34, Mohamed Mora. Number 10, Jonathan Naura. Number 8, Jeffrey Morales. Number 2, Miguel Salverde. And number 31, Asa Yaya. And nice to coach by Marty Jacobson. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise to move the pack. The flag is located by the scoreboard.
Anthem is over. As soon as the anthem is over, we go.
Yeah, give me 1 second, because I think I need to check whether the battery's again.
What's wrong?
I gotta check whether I changed the battery. I gotta change the battery, yeah. I don't think we have enough for...
I should change it at halftime.
Is there any way to go back to that blue screen? Once you exit OBS and once you hit players enter, it stops it. How do you go back to that? Okay. Oh shit, I'm not seeing. Yeah.
I just went. I'm trying to get the blue screen up again because I think I should look. I think I have them up for halftime, till halftime, but I forgot to change the battery. I forgot to change the battery out. It's one of the, yeah, it's one of the big ones. It's like the big fat one. So usually have like what? Like okay. All right. So yeah, I'll just change it at the halftime. All right. Yeah, I'll just change it at halftime.
Okay.
The officials, assistant referees, Alexandru Fonseca, Stavros, your fourth official, Conor
count me in.
Mata, and your man in the middle, Ivo Mohorovic.
Welcome to Icon Stadium on Randall's Island. Today on Coach's Corner NYC YouTube. It's the 2021 PSAL Boys Soccer Class A Final. The top-seeded Martin Luther King Jr. High School Knights at 18-0-1 against the Beacon Blue Demons today, the 2-seed 14-0-2. Good evening and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here for our coverage. I'm Ralph Bednarczyk. Chilly night today, temperatures in the low 40s, but fortunately rain has held off. That should set up for a fantastic battle between these two teams who meet for the second time this season. MLK was able to pick up a victory, or rather pick up a tie, despite outshooting Beacon in the October game between these two, 17-7. Beacon was managing to use their 5-3-2 to slow down the Knights and limit the chances. Let's give you the starters for MLK. 6'2" senior goalie Lincoln Henwood is joined by the center backs junior Miguel Saavedra and senior Acha Yaya. The left back Vakaba Cisse. The right back Michael Garcia in a 4-4-2 alignment. Junior Jeffrey Morales is the holding mid with senior captain Jonathan Naula, the center attacking mid. Left mid Charles Lopez. Mohamed Marak is the right mid. The dangerous BB Karamoko is one forward with Carlos Lyon as the other. 5-3-2 alignment for Coach Brian Handel. Junior goalie Ellis Whitson is in net. First-year starter. He made 9 saves in the first game between the two. 5-3-2 alignment with Emmanuel Bullock, Marco Rubin, Parko Melu, the center backs. Julian Naiman, the left back. Adam Pusey, the right back. Javi Friedman, the holding mid with Silas Dismond, and Luca Hansen, the center attacking mids. Abdel Alakrami is one forward, and Chandler Young, the other forward for Beacon. Beacon on the white on white, MLK black on black. And we're underway with Ivo Mohorovic, our center referee, doing the honors, and a great crowd that continues to come in here to Icon Stadium. It'll be an early corner here for MLK in the opening minute. The Knights with 93 goals scored this year, just 5 allowed, ranked number 5 on the PrepSoccer.net national rankings, number 2 in New York State. Ball in front of Whitson. It's a head ball that is eventually cleared just before it could reach Whitson. Stepping up, Norales, and Jeffrey Norales looking to win the second ball. Handled here by MLK, and the switch out wide from Cisse. The right back, Garcia. As the battle ensues, that was Mohamed Marak, and the ball played to feet. Linez. And Linez in the corner. Deep throw coming for MLK. 28th year coach Martin Jacobson, Coach Jake, coaching MLK, searching for another title. Just won his 500th career game. He's the winningest coach in New York City boys soccer history. And another uber talented team with Division I capable players. Miguel Saavedra, Vakaba Cisse, against the 5-3-2 alignment of Beacon. 3 center backs and then the wing backs that can tuck in and put 5 across. Settled here for the Knights, very much a possession brand of soccer, but with terrific speed up top, led by the striker Karamoko. Linez looked to chip it out, as Linez had played the 1-2 out wide, and now the offside flag against MLK. MLK has incredible depth. That's where the strength lies, says Coach Jake. They lost their center back, Jonathan Vargas, to a sprained ankle. He is in uniform but not starting. But this is the most depth he's arguably ever had. He's won 18 PSAL A championships. Cross came in front, battle for the second ball. Naula, 10 in black, reaching for it. And we'll get the call here against MLK. Meanwhile, for Brian Handel's Beacon Blue Demons, 14-0-2. They've scored 47 goals. They've allowed just 7. And he wants to play straight up today. They're not going to sit back for 80 minutes. He wants his team to be in attack mode today and believe that they can win today by coming at MLK, particularly on the counter. And that is where MLK could be susceptible. Ball win for Beacon. And the middle field, a check back from El Akrami. And a nice wipeout tackle at midfield by MLK as the nice push out wide. Linez. Naula. Switch from Cisse, the left back. Settle and played to feet by the right back, Michael Garcia, who will make long runs from his spot. And MLK will surrender a goal kick. So one early corner so far for the Knights. Or check that, rather, the official points to a deep throw in that dark corner with Alexander Focia and Stavros Toumanidis, our AR1 and 2. Kona Matza, our 4th official on the sideline. And another deep throw coming for MLK. As the toss comes in, that looks like it is Linez that was looking for the touch of the cross. Instead, it's going to be the second corner for MLK. So the Knights applying pressure here early. We've played into the 6th minute. Ralph Bednarczyk with you at Icon Stadium. Great scene and great energy after there was no PSAL championships at all in 2021. The two teams played a spring schedule, an exhibition schedule more likely. Head ball in the air, that was Achayaya, the center back that got in the air. Battle for the next ball and eventually the clearance for Beacon. So Beacon will come up with a throw. Talking to Brian Handel about the Blue Demons' opportunities today. He's concerned about their transition from defending to attack and taking advantage of the chances that they may have today, particularly if it's only a couple. The counterattack will be vital, and they need to find a way to get some numbers forward. But he does not want to park the bus today. And his team needs to be opportunistic. Vakaba Cisse. Lopez, the left mid. Saavedra for Achayaya. Garcia now able to check back with Mohamed Marak. And Marak searching for a cross. This will be settled for Charles Lopez. Now the overlapping run coming. It'll be a throw coming for MLK. Young, the breakup. And now let it deal it back, and the reset for MLK. Yaya, the connecting pass, Marak. Mohamed Marak, a senior. Excellent on the ball. Marak gives for the 1-2. That was Norales. They look to play it out wide for Charles Lopez. Lionez. And MLK is opened up here in these first 8 minutes, commanding possession. A couple of early corners. Naula. Room for the talented junior Jeffrey Norales. Garcia. As he checked it back inside, and then Beacon comes up with a breakup and a chance to play it forward as they look for Chandler Young, talented sophomore with great speed up top, but it's Lincoln Henwood. Henwood had to make 4 saves against James Madison in the PSAL A semifinal. MLK so fortunate to have assistant coach Mickey Cohen on staff, former 7-year player in the old NASL, and a former coach at Monroe Junior College. Mickey Cohen played at LIU in the heyday of the LIU Brooklyn program. Norales from the outside. Well off track. Jeffrey Norales plays for the Cedar Stars Academy in New Jersey with Division I interest. A very strong on-the-ball player with terrific vision. It was touched, so it'll be a corner, the third for Martin Luther King. So Ellis Whitson on high alert. First year starting goalie. This ball to the back post. No one there for MLK. Second ball in. Yaya again was the target. Settled that wide and then swung wide by Vakaba Cisse. Again off of Beacon. So the Blue Demons hanging on here into the 11th minute. Ball to the back post. And this one, again, Yaya, the target. Big 6'3" senior center back. Acha Yaya trialed with New Amsterdam in some friendly games this past July as a rising senior. New Amsterdam, a professional Division III club in NISA, the National Independent Soccer Association. New Amsterdam, a second-year club, and he also plays for them through their reserves team or their program called the Foosball Project. As Naula won the second ball and played out wide. It is Lionez carrying in. Lionez was looking to sell the call, but Ivo Mohorovic had none of it. Carlos Lionez, a terrific one-touch player. Marty Jacobson calls him a super futsal player with magic that he can create with his feet. Elakrami, Young. And here is Beacon with a chance to get some numbers forward as they touch it back from Silas Dismond. And then the foul against Lionez. Carlos Lionez is a 2-year starter. So Parker Maylou. And a chance for Beacon to possess. Some room there for Dismond, senior center attacking mid. And here comes the switch. Charles Lopez. Space for Lainez. Morales. The right back Garcia. Ball in, and Whitson has it. Ellis Whitson, third-year varsity player. He was the third-string freshman goalie back in 2019. He got the experience being around the older guys, and Brian Handel says he's one of the most improved players he's had since he started coaching at any level. He hadn't been playing club until 2020 when the pandemic started. Now trains every day and trains with the Manhattan Soccer Club under the great goalkeeping coach Buna Kundul. Karamoko. And BB Karamoko wiped up on a tackle. And Beacon will have to be so clean when handling the dangerous Karamoko. Ball played in the box, and then the volley is sent out.
Come on, folks, we can do this without the bad words.
The nice check back came from El Akrami. Young chases. And the ball went in the middle of the field. Nice moves from Garcia, the right back, tucking well inside. Garcia, one of the best athletes on this MLK team, and he attacks a lot of the right back spot. And we're seeing that here in the opening 15 minutes. Made the varsity as a freshman in 2019 for MLK. That is a feat. MLK pursuing the program's 19th PSAL championship, and it would be their first since 2018. And that represents a drought for this program. Melu, as he brought it down, chipped ahead by Cisse. Morales the ball win as he tried to start the break outside. Nice switch for Miguel Saavedra. Cisse. As he looked across, then the flick on back inside. So Beacon trying to settle in after weathering a couple of early storms. 3 corners from MLK, ready this first half. As we played into the 16th minute, no score in this PSAL championship game, Class A. It's an all-Manhattan final. Top-seeded Martin Luther King, 18-0-1. 2-seeded Beacon, 14-0-2. Ralph Bnorchik with you here from Icon Stadium. Cold night, but fortunately, a dry one. We had a little bit of drizzle that came through just at the tail end of the girls' championship game. Congratulations to Hunter College Prep. They defeated Brooklyn Tech in the A final. There's the left back, Julian Naiman. And can Julian Naiman get up the field often tonight for Beacon? Javi Friedman. And then Friedman losing the touch. Lainez. Lainez as he exchanges there with Karamoko. But the turnover, and now the settled possession for MLK. Space for Cisse, and known for his terrific crosses. Then Saavedra. Saavedra leading Cisse, then the check back, then the back heel from Lopez for Cisse. The return for Lopez, and that's a nice job of marking back there by Silas Dismond. And Dismond to try to accelerate forward. Naaman. Naaman back inside for Javi Friedman. Check back from Luca Hansen in the 5-3-2 alignment, but it's turned over. Karamoko. And BB Karamoko to the feet of Lainez. And Lainez shows patience. Karamoko, top of the box, room for Naula. Naula then taken off the shot, and then he is the one that commits the foul. Strong defending from Javi Friedman. A senior, he is one of only 3 players on this Beacon team that were on the varsity in 2019. That had any real experience. And like most teams in the PSAL, where there were no sports basically at all last year, and if it was, you could really just call them exhibitions. Non-league games this season also were adjusted very, very late as a ball ahead. Chandler Young. Young chips. Young's got it! Chandler Young! Beacon has the lead in the PSAL final. A goal in the 18th minute. Young able to chip it past Henwood. Well, Chandler Young has been the big surprise this year. Showed up in the preseason, a sophomore that was outplaying the senior class. This is just his 4th straight start in forward. Young scored 2 goals against NYC Lab Museum. Had 2 assists in the quarterfinal against Wagner. So it's Chandler Young with his 4th of the season. Hello, you should come here and ask me who scored. Young's 4th of the season, and it comes in the 18th minute. Naula dispossessed Desmond. And remember the defensive play made by Silas Dismond, as here's a shot by Naula that's well off target. No touch. Brian Handel is brought in, junior Jack Moskowitz at midfield, replacing Luca Hansen here midway through the half. A lot of running involved in those 3 midfielders in the 5-3-2, specifically both Hansen and Dismond to check back. And the goal kick from Whitson. Well, now it's a fascinating game as we play into the 21st minute. And the number 5 team in the country, MLK, Martin Luther King, trails 1-0 in the PSAL final. Beacon, opportunistic, as Brian Handel hoped, getting a goal in the 18th minute on their only shot so far. They have barely had the ball across midfield as Yaya chases with Young on his hip. Yaya, good turn from Acha Yaya. And he looks for Karamoko. So now Beacon can really manage this first half. 1 goal, though, I think Brian Handel would admit would probably not get the job done. Lopez. Linez. Cisse. As Cisse plays in Linez. Linez gets himself into the 18, and then the clearance coming from Beacon. We'll get our first sub for MLK now. Well, it looks like they called the foul. So that's why Ellis Whitson, he will have a free kick in his own end rather than the throw. Friedman. Around Karamoko. As Karamoko jostles with Naaman, and there is the foul. So Julian Naaman, an outstanding left back. Brian Handel says he's a coach's dream. They didn't learn about him until August, and he had a strong match against MLK the first meeting. So he might have been the best player on the field in terms of his tackles, slowing down MLK as they were under heavy fire that day. Again, the shots were 17-7. And really just 2 of them were on goal by Beacon, but they scored on 1 of them. And they were able to earn a 1-1 regular season tie. So 2 subs getting set to come in for MLK. As David Ramirez, likely the new left back. And sophomore Owen Colorado will come in, likely at left mid. Naaman. Linez for Karamoko. And Karamoko is shielded off well. That's strong defending from Marco Rubin, senior center back, the unquestioned leader of this team. So here come 3 subs here from Martin Jacobson, with sophomore Owen Colorado, sophomore David Reyes Ramirez, and the third. And we'll take a quick timeout. What happened?
Don't upset my man over here. One sec, sorry.
We welcome you back with 13 minutes left in this first half. 27th minute, Ralph Binarchik with you. It's 1-0. Beacon with the lead over MLK. The 2C leads the 1. While we missed about 6 minutes of action, there was a corner kick for MLK and one shot that was deflected that narrowly went in. Here's Lionez. Lionez taking the strike. He ties the game. Carlos Lionez. A 1-1 PSAL A final. Lionez sneaking it through Ellis Whitson. And he has been active on ball the entire game. So he tallies in the 27th minute after Chandler Young had tallied in the 18th for Beacon. So it comes in transition. And MLK didn't seem to be bothered by the goal scored by Young. Still just one shot for Beacon. MLK will make another substitution next opportunity as they'll bring on sophomore backup forward Sebastian George. As it's going to be BB Karamoko that's going to be replacing him. Restart for Beacon as they play it looking back post from Young. Naaman looking to win the second ball. And darting ahead was Mohamed Marak. Marak only joined the team October 20th. He was practicing and rising up the depth chart. This will be the first start of the season for senior Mohamed Marak. Another player that plays for the Futsal Academy or the Foosball Project under New Amsterdam. And he's been the surprise for MLK recently and the guy that did not play in the first meeting. So here comes Sebastian George, and he's actually going to replace Mohamed Marak at wide midfield in MLK's 4-4-2. Lionez for Maynard Palacios. Deep throw coming for Beacon. So Beacon with a restart across midfield and then one chip that Chandler Young created magic with. And can they build up a little bit more through the midfield? As Young applied pressure, Friedman looked to knock it down. Ball sent out wide. That's a good ball. Palacios. Attacking is George. Pusey will send it up the sideline. Nowla the knock-in. Deep throw coming for MLK. So we get into the 32nd minute of a 1-1 PSAL final. Palacios looks for a switch. Does. Nice ball. Michael Garcia Jr. That was Owen Colorado with the touch. Yaya. David Reyes Ramirez. Hard-nosed player, like many players here between the two sides that play club soccer for the Manhattan Soccer Club. well represented today in this PSAL final. And that's what it takes to step on the field for programs like this. You must be a club player. There's just so much competition on these rosters, particularly MLK. Pusey. As Disman handled. Linez. Jonathan Naula. Attacking wide Palacios. And Pusey will see the touch last off of Maynard Palacios. So another goal kick coming for Ellis Whittinson. Well, Beacon's been able to keep the tempo of this game under control. Keeping MLK in front of them. Brian Handel talking about how much his young players were able to take the experience in last year. The two teams met last season twice out of the 6 games. Beacon won a game 1-0 from Beacon, rather from MLK. MLK won the second game 2-1 June 14th. And then the tie this year. So these Beacon players have certainly adjusted and seen the speed of what the Knights have and have gotten to know the personnel well. And that can bring talented teams, or if one team has to be considered the more talented squad, that can close the gap when you know tendencies, when there are less surprises, and the adjustment can be made. Garcia, and Yaya moves it along for Colorado. Palacios connecting with Naula. Now Garcia. Garcia sends in a cross. Only white shirts there for Beacon. Rubin will come up with a clearance. Garcia stops it in front of Young. Reyes Ramirez. Naula checking back. Bad pass. Nobody in particular stepping up is Norales. Now to the field of Linez. Linez wide. Colorado. Colorado, ball in. Head ball. Not that much on it. The head ball for Sebastian George, who's tall and lanky. A sophomore that plays for the Central Brooklyn Soccer Club. He scored a goal against James Madison in the PSAL A semi. 4 goals of the season for Sebastian George. And he is on for BB Karamoko. We'll get a substitution as Luca Hansen getting set to check back in for Beacon in these final 4+ minutes. First half tied at 1. Beacon grabbing the lead in the 18th minute. The equalizer from Carlos Linez in the 27th for MLK. So that's Henwood to take the restart just inside of midfield. Disman the ball win. And Friedman to move it along. Good choice there from Rubin. Maylou played to feet there, Friedman. El Akrami. And Abdel El Akrami, as he tried to turn the corner, dispossessed. Palacios. Naula. And this is the area of concern to defend well in transition for Beacon as they try to pull off this upset, and the hard challenge and the foul on Dismond. Or make that on Chandler Young checking back. So this will allow Beacon to get some numbers forward for a restart inside of midfield. And on this turf field, you just never know how the ball might bounce. But they'll play it wide from Rubin, and then not a clean touch. It'll be a deep throw coming. We'll get a substitution as Luca Hansen back in, senior center mid, who plays for the Yoa Soccer Club. He's a left-footed center mid. Matter of fact, he, along with Silas Dismond, both left-footed players that are center mids in the 5-3-2 for Brian Handel. So now Hansen will go up top, and Abdel El Akrami will head off. Lainez picking out Garcia. Garcia long, back the return for Lainez. Follow up, Naula. Palacios waits for support. Now Palacios enters it in, but it's all Whitson. No track in front of Ellis Whitson. And this will take our clock into the just about the 40th minutes. First half tied at 1 in the PSAL final. Palacios will deal it back. Saavedra. Bad pass. Moskowitz nearly picked it cleanly. Instead, Norales, terrific holding mid. Norales blasting from the outside. Oh, the save is made by Whitson. Norales, a strike on the move from 30 yards out. Here's a late corner for MLK. They have 50 seconds left. Brilliant strike from Jeffrey Norales, who is getting Division I interest from Big East programs. What a strike that was. Half minute left. This one to the back post. Partial clearance for Beacon. Saavedra the next ball back in. Colorado. Norales settling it. Then Norales could not get the shot off. Then Norales appeared like he committed the foul. That is strong defending there in the final seconds for Beacon. Jack Moskowitz may have saved a goal-scoring opportunity for the dangerous Jeffrey Norales. So at the end of the first half, MLK has knotted up Beacon 1-1 in the PSAL Boys Soccer Final from Icon Stadium in Randall's Island. We'll take time out and be back in 10 minutes on Coach's Corner NYC. Welcome back on Coach's Corner NYC on YouTube. This is the PSAL Boys A Soccer Championship game in 2021. Martin Luther King, the top seed, trailed for about 9 minutes to two-seeded Beacon in the first half, but we were even up at 1 as we're about to start this second half. Ralph Minorchik back with you on a cold night at Icon Stadium. The two teams had to settle for a tie in the regular season meeting. Here tonight, we'll have a winner.
Ready for the start of the second half. Mr. Referee, your whistle.
That game took place back on October 22nd over at Riverside Park, which from a width perspective, it is smaller here than this field at Icon Stadium. So for Beacon and their back five, they have a little bit more ground to cover against this electric MLK offense. Underway in the second half with MLK going left to right from our vantage point. Beacon in the white, right to left. Julian Naaman to toss in. Marco Rubin as he plays it across. And Parker Maylou looks for clearance. Sent up the line, Silas Disman. Saavedra against some pressure up high. Senior forward Kevin Zielinski has come in for the first time for Beacon. And this is a cross that's to side netting. Zielinski's had a great year. 6 goals and an assist. He's been a starter much of the season before the emergence of Chandler Young. So Young off the field at the moment. It is Zielinski along with the other forward is Abdel Alakrami. I think for MLK coach Martin Jacobson, I think he talked to his team about keeping up their patience that they've showed with their possession. They only maybe took 1 or 2 shots that, or strikes you would say you look for something better. And then just being careful on the counter. It was just 1 chipped ball that led to the goal. So Beacon showed that with a player like Young up top, Zielinski scored the goal in the regular season. As here is Julian Naaman. And Naaman has yet to be able to get upfield yet, but can Naaman do so? He can spark Beacon's attack. So Beacon with a throw in across midfield. So he enters in, and Mohamed Marak. And Marak switched for Palacios. Palacios looking to play it wide and back in. And it'll be another goal kick for Ellis Whitson. Just underway, second half tied at 1 in the PSAL Class A Boys Soccer Final. Ball win briefly, Javi Friedman taking off possession. And a goal ball serviced wide, Pusey defending for Beacon. And Pusey commits the foul in the corner. So here's a chance at a dangerous cross now for Martin Luther King Jr. And they'll be able to get their center backs into the box, including the big and strong Acha Yaya. Marak providing service. Whitson the punch out. Now for the next ball, and that is headed out. It'll be a goal kick. Well, the marking has been strong today for Beacon on all these corners. They have not really surrendered an unmarked one. Probably the best chance for the Knights off of a corner was their very first ball. Their first corner, 2nd minute in. And Whitson, known for his good goal kicks. Martin Jacobson talking about that as he can reach midfield, and that's going to help relieve pressure on the back five for Beacon. Palacios, ball sent in past Friedman. Naula will move it along. Marak. Mohamed Marak shooting from the outside, and that's a dangerous rip. Well, he's the new secret weapon that only joined the team 3 weeks ago, October 20th. And he's been playing well in the playoffs with 2 goals and an assist. That's a rocket from Mohamed Marak. And now an MLK foul, so this will allow Beacon to get some numbers forward. Imperative for Beacon just to get MLK a bit on their heels defensively. See if they make a defensive mistake. As we get into the 7th minute of the second half, 47th minute. Nice switch. Friedman, ball ahead, Zielinski. As Zielinski chases, he was just brushed off a little bit by the defender of MLK. It'll be a deeper throw now for Beacon. Toss-in comes, and this is a cross that's off of MLK, so the very first corner now for Beacon. So in the 47th minute, the Blue Demons can get a lot more numbers forward. And they don't beat the first defender. That was Marak. Second ball in, and it'll be another corner. So Beacon methodically able to get some numbers into the box. Lincoln Hedwood is a senior, first-year starting goalie. MLK for this game has an incredible 7 goalies dressed. 2 freshmen pulled up for the playoffs, but just imagine a program having 5 keepers in the system. Second corner, and again, they don't beat the first defender. Marak was there. Friedman settled the ball for Neyman. Zielinski, as Neyman came up the line. Friedman with the first touch. Marak. As Marak accelerates and then attacks. Mohamed Marak with a rocket. It's in! Marak solid of a strike. In the 48th minute, Mohamed Marak, who has been on a tear since joining the team 3 weeks ago. He narrowly missed a goal, zipping one high over the crossbar earlier in this second half. Someone that is known for being able to dribble around people with great pace. And once Marak turned the corner on Luca Hansen, it was going to be trouble. And he got the ball to his left foot and buried it. MLK now with the 2-1 lead. This year, the PSAL made the decision that there would be simply no eligibility rules due to the pandemic, so people that were in school or in a charter school, then eventually joined high schools or switched high schools, would be eligible to join programs, and Mohamed Marak was in that boat. As this ball at the top of the box, and the hard challenge coming from Marak as he collides there with Marco Rubin. Both players shaken up as they went after the ball hard. So we get the stoppage in the 48th minute. Marco Rubin, and he's one of the last guys Beacon can afford to lose. Calm and collected center back that plays for the Yellow Soccer Club. Well, Marak has gotten up to his feet for Martin Luther King. And now Rubin to his feet. Just a hard challenge. Two players playing very hard. Next opportunity, Beacon will sub in sophomore Chandler Young as he got some extra rest and he'll be ready to go for the final 30 minutes of regulation. And can Beacon find him somewhere wide and in space? So Rubin will have to exit due to the injury stoppage, and he is favoring his left knee. So now Chandler Young comes in, and another substitute coming in the back for the Blue Demons. As Josh Wong comes in, Wong will replace Rubin, looks like at center back. And then Zielinski comes off. As this is a head ball, taken care of defensively, partial clearance. Next ball sent in, then chipped over the top. Naula in position outside the 6. Great ball played back in, and Jonathan Naula was on the doorstep. So Ellis Whitson with the goal kick. So Young back in at striker for Zielinski. And how will Beacon manage without senior leader Marco Rubin as one of the center backs? That was Pusey that got forward. And now we'll get our first MLK second half substitution. Next opportunity. Ball wide. It's Karamoko, and Karamoko shooting. Handling that is Whitson. Sharp angle there. And Ellis Whitson was able to cover the near post. Naaman, and the pressure on Naaman. Marak picking up the foul. So here's the chance of the MLK sub as senior forward Kamani Carter will come in. And meanwhile, it's Julian Naaman that is shaken up for Beacon. So here is a chance for the coaching staff of MLK to be fully gathered here for a quick second. And Naaman has been able to get to his feet. I don't know why the officials are allowing this to have basically full huddles. Naaman appears like he's okay, and now Even the far side referee is coming over here. So I don't know what the discussion is about. There are not normally timeouts like this. So all four of our officials are huddled over towards the MLK bench. Our referee Ivo Mohorovic is consulting with Stavros Toumanidis, his AR2, Alexander Focia is AR1, and Kona Matza, the fourth official. I have no idea what this could be about. The challenge was not a particularly hard one that Naaman was hurt on. Martin Jacobson now getting a brief explanation. And Ivo Mohorovic now instructing the PA announcer to tell the fans to please stay off the field. There are a ton of fans on the far side. The bleachers are completely packed, and there are people lined up all along the sidelines. There's a switch. Palacio steps in front of Pusi. Karamoko. Next ball in for Maroc, and Whitson will get to it. Meanwhile, the MLK sub of Kamari Carter is still waiting at the table. Good goal kick over Dismond. Young trying to check back to the feet of Luca Hansen, and Hansen is fouled. So a key restart for Beacon just inside of midfield. They generated a pair of corners when the game was still 1-1. Parker Melu. Friedman trying to find the feet of Dismond. Pusey chips in. Elakremi. Abdel Elakremi plays it across, and it is swallowed up there by Lincoln Henwood. So first dangerous ball in the direction of Lincoln, who's been the starter all year. Maroc gets the check back. Maroc bottled up by Silas Dismond. Dismond defensively has been critical today. He has not been able to get forward much for the Blue Demons. Saavedra to the feet of Yaya. Ball by Norales for Palacios out of his reach. Well, the build-up for MLK is spectacular. They just haven't found enough of those killer through balls, the connecting passes, as Martin Jacobson discussed. Especially playing against a back five, we try to work generally outside in. Most teams pack it in the PSAL against MLK. So they work on getting the ball wide, especially playing in these bigger fields, which they love. As Yaya goes over the top in a wasted ball for Ellis Whitson to handle. And when you work it out wide, you have a chance to get some numbers, and that's where players such as the left back and Vakaba Cisse are very valuable, because his crosses as a left back are said to be precision. A ball in the direction of Hansen. Garcia stepped up. Norales deals it wide. Mohamed Maroc with the go-ahead goal in the 48th minute. And MLK pursuing their first title since 2018 with the lead 2-1. Maroc bends a ball in. It carries through. There's a chance. It's in! It's Carlos Lainez. Perfect ball from Mohamed Marak. (3-1) MLK. Lainez for the second time tonight. Marak will get the assist. A great ball played in with just enough pace, where Whitson stepped out to try to get it, and Lainez beat him to the spot. Not much Whitson could do about it. Perhaps just a slight pause, if I saw a replay of it, a slight pause of Whitson to not come out to get that ball, and that allowed Lainez to beat him to it and then dribble around him and tuck it in. And once Lainez gets the ball in that kind of position, he's not going to miss. And credit Mohamed Marak for that pretty ball. Well, Martin Jacobson felt he was our surprise for Beacon tonight, our secret weapon. Adding Marak into the lineup. And that promise has sure held up. Karamoko.
MLK goal, his second of the game, scored by number 9, Carlos Lainez. Starting the goal, 54th minute, Lainez at the 54th minute.
Well, they announced a goal in the 54th minute. I think that's incorrect. Scored in the 27th, 27:15 left. But it's MLK at 3-1 after trailing 1-0 in the 18th minute tonight. Melu plays it top of the box. Now the opportunity for the volley. Wide is Pusey. Dealt it across. Friedman knocks down the next ball. Then looking to turn there was Chandler Young. For Beacon, good sign for Brian Handel. Center back Marco Rubin can return. He replaces Joshua Wong at that spot. Earlier this second half, Rubin had taken a hard knock and a challenge with Marak. And Marak is a train coming at you. Friedman moved it along. And this ball intercepted. Naula got into the passing lane. Jonathan Naula wide. Cutting it across was Karamoko. Karamoko at the top of the 18, weaves in and out. And Karamoko with too many white shirts around him. Garcia. And Garcia will get to the end of this ball. Garcia goes back post. He had Karamoko, next ball, and Whitson has it. Again, as he held up and protected that near post. Quickly distributing for Naiman. Young, and the hard step and the foul, says Ivo Mohorovic, as Marak climbed up his back. Garcia was stepped into by Young as Young picks up the foul. The Knights leading 3-1, seeking the program's 19th PSAL championship. They went through a stretch through 2012 where they won a remarkable 14 out of 17. Karamoko dazzles as he approaches the box. Too many white shirts there. Deep throw coming. Three subs in for MLK. Morrican Kenna, junior backup center mid. As we have a player shaken up here at midfield. That's Achayaya. I think he's cramping up here despite this very cold night. And Jonathan Vargas checking in for MLK. There's previous starting center back, 4-year starter in the program, first year at center back. He was an outside back the last 3 years out of the Manhattan Soccer Club. That's a great moment for Jonathan after he was questionable with an ankle injury that caused him to leave the semifinal. So he'll go into his usual spot as Achayaya will be helped as he comes off the field here. Well, Yaya is such a big high school player. He's also had some knee problems. He's starting in place of Vargas, started the last 2 games. But a real prospect for the next level to play somewhere in college. Achayaya just looks the part of a physical center back. So back to action, Morales. Miguel Saavedra. In the 59th minute. Ball delivered at the edge of the 18, then kind of punched along. Whitson is fouled. Whitson is run into. We could get a yellow card coming out. And indeed the yellow out against Kamani Carter of MLK. And Carter just playing hard. I think he tried to hold himself up. So Carter will exit and Sebastian George will replace him due to the yellow. Morales. Maroc striking again from the outside. Boy, he can shoot from distance. And he has some real pace to it. And looks like he has fine control from distance too. And what a mystery man Mohamed Maroc was attending a charter school. But he is someone that can play absolutely the next level at a Division I or II college. And now a foul called against Beacon. This comes at the edge of the 18. So this will set up Maroc for a strike from about 25 yards out. And a dangerous moment here for Beacon And an opportunity for MLK to bury this game. Look at the spot for Maroc. So in the 61st minute, Whitson will put up a wall of 5. Is it enough? This one strikes through. It's in. Bibi Karamoko. It got past the wall. Whitson never saw it. 4-1 MLK. Karamoko, MLK's leading scorer this year. Had a hat trick against Frederick Douglass. 3-2 in that one. 3-2 against NYC Lab Museum. And that was brilliant placement. And MLK, who has only surrendered 5 goals coming into tonight, now with a seemingly insurmountable lead. They'll sub back Charles Lopez in at wide mid. Here's Elakrami. Great ball out wide for Pusey. Pusey with the first touch, got himself into the box and sent a nice volley along. It's wide. And great aggression there, though, from Pusey, the right back. But the firepower for MLK has found room tonight. Karamoko, just a junior, a top recruit in the class of 2022, make it 2023. Plays for the Manhattan Soccer Club with programs such as UConn, and Coach Ray Reed, UMass are all interested at this still early juncture. And Karamoko had been mainly quiet tonight. It's been Maroc and Lioness that have been more on the ball this evening. And a foul. This one is going to be outside the box in a quality area for Beacon. So Beacon can hustle up. And this comes in a very favorable spot. So in the 62nd minute, Abdel Elakrami. And MLK is going to put up a massive wall. Six on the wall for MLK. Elakrami over the wall and over the bar. Good strike. Did not get the dipping action he wanted, and Headwood got a pretty good look at it. Meanwhile, Carter back in, and Mohamed Maroc will sit. Maybe his night is done. But what a performance from Mohamed Maroc with a goal and an assist. Carlos Lainez has 2 goals. Bibi Karamoko has 1. And it's an MLK team that has come back with a great vengeance. Lopez across. Friedman settling it. And Pusey just to try to push it out. Deep toss coming for Martin Luther King. The storied MLK program on the verge of another championship. Toss in comes Palacios, taking it wide. And it'll be pointed as another Martin Luther King corner kick with under 15 minutes left. So 65th minute now at cold Icon Stadium. Martin Jacobson likely can take out some of his subs here too, as they see a number of players warming up behind the MLK bench. Cross comes to the near post, and that's headed wide. And this is a rocket also of a shot wide. Well, MLK just not content with 4 goals. They've scored an incredible 93 goals coming in, head and shoulders above everybody else in Manhattan Class A. Ranked number 5 in the PrepSoccer.net national poll. Ranked number 10 by the United Soccer Coaches Association poll. Goal kick coming as that ball could not be reached. Strong challenge came from the Beacon player, and that was Emmanuel Bullock, the center back. And Bullock is shaken up, and this will have the clock stopped. In the 66th minute. Emmanuel Bullock, much improved player. His older brother Simon was on the Beacon 2019 championship team. Beacon is the defending PSAL A champs. And now a little extracurricular at midfield between players. And this is the wrong time for it. I think it's Achayaya, our AR1, I think noticed who exactly started or did what, and MLK trying to get separated here. And Alexander Focia, our AR1, who's a distinguished official, he is a referee in professional soccer, and I think the yellow has been shown. The yellow against junior Morrigan Kenna. So only a yellow, no red shown. Chandler Young is upset with something that, and you know what, I think Young also received a yellow because he is heading off. And Brian Handel of Beacon getting an explanation from Ivo Mohorovic. Subs on both sides as Lincoln Headwood comes out, and freshman backup goalie Hudson Fitzgerald is now in, or let me correct myself, that's the wrong side. New goalie in New goalie Kamani Ivory is in for Martin Luther King. And he's the backup goalie. He's a senior, so he'll have a chance to close this one out. So Lincoln Henwood is finished for the night. Back in the attack again, MLK, but the offside flag is up. And the foul was called prior to the through ball being sent ahead. And this is a ball wide of goal. Beacon will get Chandler Young back in, next opportunity, as we head into the 68th minute. 69th minute now. These two teams met in October. It was a 1-1 tie. Beacon bent but did not break more than once. But MLK has commanded possession as expected, but they have scored just some wonderful goals tonight. Not necessarily off of Beacon mistakes, just great strikes where the offense just finds a way against good defense. Jeffrey Norales carries. And a switch comes for Sebastian George. Karamoko, he shoots, save is made. Then the rebound, it's punched wide. Oh, on the short side, there was the opportunity. Friedman, another ball win. Pusey, hard wipeout challenge there on the far sideline from MLK. That's good defending, more good defending from MLK tonight. And that strike is in from well outside. Julian Naaman with the goal. So it's a 4-2 game. 10 minutes left. Two great goals from Beacon. Can the Blue Demons get the next opportunity? So they beat the backup goalie. And another stoppage, and an MLK player is down. Well, this game has had a lot of everything. 6 goals scored. Great intensity of a championship game. A great crowd assembled. Cold conditions. And it's a long time coming to see PSAL championships again. Brian Handels Beacon Blue Demons are the defending champions from 2019 when they went 15-1-1. They did not have to beat MLK that year. They defeated John Adams 7-1. In 2019, MLK was upset by John Adams in a PSAL second round game. For the first time they were ever upset at that early juncture. MLK was the 1 seed. They lost to the 16 seed John Adams 2-1. Just a stunner when you look at the history and the separation of talent between the two programs, or across the majority of programs in Class A in the PSAL. But Julian Naaman, with that rip of a shot, just scored an impressive distance goal, as you'll see. That's his second of the season. Naaman came in with a goal and 4 assists. Brian Handel calls him a coach's dream. He has not been able to be on the ball much today because of MLK's dominance in possession. But he appears to be someone that could be first team all PSAL when the awards are given out. So at 4-2, Beacon has done something that MLK has not had happen to them all year, and that's give up more than a goal. And still 8.5 left. A hard shove on Young. And then I could not hear the whistle, but it is just a throw-in. So indeed, no foul. And now Pusey commits the foul just before the throw with that late shove. So now a restart for MLK. This all comes to the near post. Volley back in. They didn't get it past the first defender. 4-2 game, and MLK, they've subbed out several of their starters already. But this one is not quite in the books yet.
Yes, Sam.
Elakrami, connecting pass, Dismond. Silas Dismond continues to pursue. Fine wipeout tackle again. That was John Hernandez, 12 in black. And more good tackling on both sides. It's been a fun match to watch. In terms of defense, Pusey has the throw. And now Karamoko, able to accelerate. Karamoko continues the long run. Lopez on the follow-up. Elected not to deal it back and just plays it along the line for the check back from Karamoko. In white, senior forward Samuel Williams has come in for Beacon. MLK will play their next corner short, then whip this ball into the box. Short side, and out to pounce on it is Ellis Whitson. So we get into the 86th minute, the 76 minutes. Ellis Whitson, despite the 4 goals allowed, has played strong, having to range over and help out that back 5 of Beacon that has been under fire tonight. The match started with an early corner kick from MLK in the 2nd minute. Looked like the Knights would get an early goal. But after the first 5 minutes, Beacon was able to just slow the tempo of the game down a little bit. And that ball out of the range of a cross. It'll be a goal kick for Whitson. But then a clearance from Silas Disman from just inside of his defensive third. Got it across midfield. Chandler Young out-racing the center back. And he was able to strike from 35 yards out. That made it 1-0 in the 18th minute. As Marco Rubin will come off with another injury, or he's trying to walk off something to his knee. But that made it 1-0 before the equalizer came from Lioness. That came in the 27th minute. We were tied up at 1. Then into the second half, in the 47th minute, a Mohamed Marak goal, a wonder strike coming from the near right side. He was able to dribble himself for another 20 yards and rip it with his left foot. Terrific strike. That made it 2-1. And MLK has not looked back. They led 4-1 before a Julian Neyman strike from 35 yards out. Made it 4-2, and that's where we stand now. A foul outside the 18 against Beacon. Now this will take us into the 77th minute. Looks like both coaches about to sub in whoever else that has not gotten into the game, particularly in the senior class. We're ready for the restart. And a ball deflecting. That'll be off the body of a Beacon player. So another corner for MLK. And before that, we'll have subs as number 11, Dimitrios Valasopoulos will come in. Senior for the first time, Valasopoulos. And also Alejandro Lopez Catrino will also come in for the first time here in the final 2 minutes. And you can see how the level does not drop off much from MLK. Once they bring in kind of their second unit, they have 34 players on the roster. As we have a stoppage, and I think we're going to get a yellow coming out. Indeed, a yellow against MLK. as Ezekiel Rowland picking up a late yellow here in the 80th minute. So he'll have to head off. But for MLK, in Martin Jacobs' 28th season, a season unlike any other, coming off of a pandemic in the city and all the restrictions that these players had to start their seasons under, Marty ran a fall program that the Parks Department let him get approved at Clinton Park in the fall of 2020. So that allowed the team to get together for no games but to train. And this is a shot wide of Whitson. Then finally the PSAL last minute said, let's do a 6-game kind of exhibition season. So they played some games with limited practice. And now, after it's been a little bit of a drought for MLK, the Knights count down the seconds. MLK is back in a big way. MLK has the program's 19th PSAL championship and their first since 2018. The Knights take care of rival Beacon 4-2 the final. The Knights close out a nearly perfect 2021. They finished 19-0-1. Their lone blemish, a tie against Beacon in October. And they take care of Beacon tonight, putting in 4 goals against a very stingy Blue Demon program. Carlos Lainez with 2 goals, Mohamed Marak with 1 and 1, and Hakeem Bibi Karamoko with the 4th goal.